In this video, I am going to go over the Quiz 9 review/warm-up. So the first question says, given parallelogram ABCD, mark the sides and angles that can be marked. What is the correct triangle congruent statement and reason? So again, we know it's a parallelogram, so I'm going to go ahead and mark these opposite sides as parallel. Okay. We also know that this side is congruent to itself because of the, so we could say that AC is congruent with CA, and that would be because of the symmetric property, right? Okay, then we also know that this angle up here is congruent to that angle. They're alternate interior angles, right? So we could say BAC is congruent with DCA, right? And then we also have one more pair right here, right? So we could also say that this angle is congruent with this angle up here, right? Again, alternate interior angles. So ACB, so first of all, why are they congruent? Because we have an angle, then we have a side, then we have an angle, right? So angle, side, angle is going to be our answer. So these two are definitely not our answer. So then we're just trying to see which one is the correct statement. So if we say ACB, then we would have CAD, right? So that's not the statement here. So again, let's look at this next one. Let's do it. Let me see if I can pick a different color here. Green, there we go. So if this next one says CAB, so again, we're going to go CA to B, right? That means we'd have to go across the side the opposite direction, ACD, right? ACD. So that was our answer right there. Okay. So the next one says, what's the value of X? Okay. So on this one, because these are parallel, and it shows us that they're parallel, then we can say that X over 10 is equal to this part over up here over our 8. Well, what is that part? Well, obviously to find that we would do 28 minus 8, so this part up here would be 20, right? So that's going to be 20 over 8. Then we're going to cross multiply. So we've got our 8x is equal to 10 times 20 is 200. So we're going to divide both sides by our 8 here. So x is equal to 25. All right, so our next one says find y. Okay, so because these two angles at M, because this angle here is congruent to that angle there, then we have a ratio. We could say 26 over 52 is equal to the sides that are opposite our angle, y over 12. Again, cross multiplying here. So this would be 52y is equal to 26 times 12 was 312. So once again, we're dividing both sides by 52 here. So this is going to be 6. All right, so on this next one, we got to, it says, are there a pair of triangles that are similar below? So write a similarity statement. So we're going to put our dots on our sides. Whoa, I can't read that. This is our shortest side, right? Whoops, one dot. 1 dot, 2 dots, 3 dots. 1 dot, 2 dots, 3 dots. Here, 1 dot, 2 dots, 3 dots. Okay, that's how we're going to set this up. And this is not exactly the same problem as you guys had, but the statements should be the same. Maybe not, we'll see. So again, I think these values switched because I asked them to change them for future reference. Okay, so anyway, so let's go 24 over shortest side is 12. That would be half, right? And then we got 32 over 16. And then we've got 40 over 20. So these are definitely similar because 24 divided by 12 is 2, 32 divided by 16 is 2, 40 divided by 20 is 2. So we could say here that, all right, so now let's talk about IHJ. I is between 2 and 3. So G is between 2 and 3. So, yep. And then we go to H across the 2 dot side. So we go across the 2 dot side here, G, F. Yeah, so this would be our answer here. Okay. That was not the answer on the review you guys had. It was this because these were switched. Okay. All right. So on the next one, U, V, W, and are similar to triangle USR. What is the measurement of UR? So here again, we've got these are similar by side angle side, right? Okay, so that means short side to short side, longer side to longer side. Okay, so I'm going to do 90 over 50 is going to be equal to 63 over our question mark. That's UR, right? Okay, so that's how we're going to set it up. So that's going to be cross multiply here again. So this is 90 question mark is equal to 50 times 63, and 50 times 63 was 3,150. Then we're going to divide both sides by 90. So our question mark in this case, which is UR, is going to be 35. And there's our answer. This next problem says, given ED is parallel to BC, find the length of AE. So it's asking us to find AE right here. I'm going to call that Y. And that's going to map to this, right? So we're going to say Y over 45 is equal to our whole side over here, 65 over our whole side over there, 75. So we're going to cross multiply here. So that's going to be 75Y is equal to 45 times 65. And 45 times 65 I got was 2925. We're going to divide both sides here by 75. So I got that the answer was, hold on, Y is equal to 39 here, which again, I'm not sure you guys had that answer on your paper or not, but that's what it is. All right, so the next one says what angles are always congruent in this image that is not marked. So these vertical angles would be the answer to that question, right? So let's see, how could we say that? DA, so remember, whatever this middle letter is, this B, right? So that's not a B, that's not a B. That's not a B, that is a B, but B should be in both, right? No B, no B. So remember, so when we talk about A, B, D, and C, B, E, we went from the one arc to the two arc to nothing, right? One arc to two arc to nothing. So that's our answer. So again, we'll look at that middle letter. That should be the vertex of your angle. This next one says, which triangle congruence theorem explains why ABD is congruent to CBE? So again, what do we have? We have an angle, and a side. Doesn't matter which one we do. Angle, angle, side, right? They're both angle, angle, side. So this answer is B, okay? The next one says, what can you mark that's not currently marked? Obviously, that's going to be the shared side, right? So that would be EZ and ZE. They are not going to go the same direction. So if we go EZ this way, we're going to go ZE that way, right? So that's going to be the answer, and that's the symmetric property again, remember, because we are not going across it the same direction. What additional congruent statements needed to justify the triangles are congruent by HL? So we need one more piece to prove that it's congruent by HL. Now I know that this is a leg right here, right? So that means we need our hypotenuse and a hypotenuse, right? So here again, we're talking about XZ, 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 XZ. So XZ, so XZ, there's no XZ there, there's no XZ there. We got an XZ and XZ right there. Okay, so now we're going to look at it what order. So if we go from out here to XZ, then we got to go from out here to YE, right? So XZ, YE, that is our problem right there. All right, so this next one says find the height of the flagpole. We're looking for this. Round to the nearest 100th place. So we're going to compare the height of the flagpole to the height of the person, x over 7, right? And then we're going to compare the base of the whole triangle, which would be 22 plus 12. That would be 34. That's going to be equal to 34 over what? Our 12. Y'all see that? So we're going to cross multiply again like this. So this is 12x, and then 7 times 34 I had was 238. Then we're going to subtract both sides by our 12. And when I did this, I got that the answer was 19.83 feet. Okay, this next one says, find CA given the triangles are similar by side, angle, side. Again, your paper, I'm pretty sure, said angle, side, angle. So change that to side, angle, side. Okay, scratch it out and put side, angle, side. All right, so now we're going to compare short, and looks like this is our short, and long, right? Okay, so I'm going to do 36 over my 18, and that's going to be equal to 60 over my question mark. Right, that's CA. All right, so once again, we're cross multiplying, right? So that's going to be 36 question mark is equal to our 18 times our 60. So that was 1080, and then we divide both sides by 36 here. And I got 30 when I did that. So our last problem here says XYZ is the midsegment of ADE. So that means each of these are going to be midpoints, okay? Because that little triangle is the midsegments of the big triangle. So then it says ZX is 8. That means DY is 8 and YE is 8, okay? Then it says AD is 12. So that means each of these parts are 6 and 6 because we divide by 12 by 2 because remember that's a midpoint, which means this also here is 6. Okay. Then it says ZE is 10. So that means this is 10 and this is 10. And then the question it's asking us is find the perimeter of XYZ. XYZ is that triangle right there. So we're going to add our 10 plus our 8 plus our 6, and that's going to give us 10 plus 14 is 24. All right, then it says, what are the 3 ways to prove similarity? Remember, we started out with angle, angle. Then we talked about side, 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 and side, angle, side. Think this through now. Angle, angle has no sides, right? Side, side, side has 3 sides that produce the same ratio. And side, angle, side has 2 sides with the angle between them. Last part here says, if 2 triangles are similar, corresponding sides are proportional. That means they produce the same ratio, the same fraction. Corresponding angles are congruent. Now remember, this is what you really need to remember. Angles are always congruent. Always congruent. Always congruent. That's the key.